Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another DMA video on the channel. Now, I want to hop into a segment that I've been wanting to talk about that I haven't been able to talk about, and that is exactly what the right secondary PC is for DMA cheating. So we're going to go over what you need, the specs of our example product sent over by LMarket DMA. You guys can use code TABS on checkout, and actually there's a specials code on screen that'll save you an additional 10% off at checkout for just this video's upload. Like, this is special just from LMarket. We're going to also talk about cheap alternatives and the minimum specs you need for those cheap alternatives if you don't want to buy a pre-built mini PC.
Hard drive loaded up, stubble and coated.
You're looking to get into DMA and you need a secondary computer. But let's just say you don't want to spend too much money after already having to purchase everything that you need for DMA, like the card, the fuser, etc. First, let's look at a great option coming from LMarket. Again, you guys can find the link below. This is the GMK Tech M6. So what does it cost and what does it offer? The base price of this is the middle model, so this is going to be $377 USD, but with code TABS10, you'll save roughly $40. That's about 10% off for a limited time. It's rocking a AMD Ryzen 5 6600H. That's 6 cores and 12 threads. The higher the core count means it can easily process your game's memory, aim data, and visuals all at once without lagging. When it comes to RAM, it has 16 gigabytes of DDR5. 16 gigs is the sweet spot, gives you more than enough power to run everything smoothly, not to mention DDR5 is just super fast in comparison to DDR4, and this allows you to do more than just click menu options with this PC, which helps for multitaskers. And honestly, I use this mini PC myself to host a 7 Days to Die server for me and my friends, which is funny because I never really thought of myself as using a random mini PC that was given to me by a sponsor for more than just what it was originally supposed to be used for, and it runs that 7 Days to Die server absolutely perfectly. We put 22 hours onto that server and never had any server problems. The thing's a workhorse for how small it is. When it comes to storage, this model does have a 512 gigabyte NVMe SSD. The key here is SSD. It makes the PC boot up and load your software instantly when compared to a hard drive. The fact it's also 512 gigs is also nice, as most of these mini PCs come with 128 gigabytes of storage, and most of them only leave you with about 90 to 95 gigs after Windows has been installed. This mini PC build is more than powerful enough to run your DMA tasks. It's fast, responsive, and it will not bottleneck. But let's say you don't want to spend $300 on a mini PC because you just spent that on an entirely set up DMA system without the second PC even being there. I don't know why you wouldn't think this through, but that's why I'm here. So when we talk about cheap alternatives, the best bang for your buck is going to be refurbished PCs off of Facebook Market, Craigslist, Kijiji. Facebook Market is kind of like the best thing to do. Honestly, make a random Facebook account, just use Facebook Market. That is literally all it's useful for. So a few of the PCs you can actually look for that are refurbished, you're going to look at the Dell Optiplex Micro. You can look at the HP ProDesk Mini, as well as the Lenovo ThinkCentre Tiny. Those three should work bang for buck, super cheap, and you can get those for around 100 to 200 USD. Again, they're not going to be purpose built, so they're going to be 50-50 when it comes to performance, but they should run basic ESP and AIM visual tasking without too much of a big issue, especially if you're only playing stuff at like 1080p, 1440p. As long as you're not running super intense mapping of a game with radar, you should be fine. Remember though, when you are purchasing one of these, they're built for everyday normal tasking, and some CPUs might not have AVX2 as well. This is something you can't really skip out on DMA because some softwares do require AVX2. So if you're looking to play certain games with a certain software for DMA, make sure that you either have AVX2 because it's easy to just find and get, or look for a product that does not require AVX2. But honestly, future-proofing yourself and making sure that your CPU is supported by AVX2 is 100% ideal, and I have a link in the description to help you figure out if the CPU you're looking at is in fact supporting AVX2. This also goes for USB speeds. I would recommend a USB 3.0 to be sufficient, but a 3.1 is also not a bad idea for that extra boost. I'm going to be honest with you, the spec situation, it can be pretty confusing, so let me just go over it one more time just so it really bleeds into you guys. No matter what you buy, the minimum specs you should look for are the power of an Intel Core i5 7th generation or newer, an AMD Ryzen 3 2000 series or newer. You need at least 4 cores and AVX2 support, but the AVX2 support is honestly just dependent on the software. But at this point, like I said, you might as well just get it. The bare minimum of RAM you should have in this computer is about 8 gigabytes. 16 gigs is highly recommended for a smoother experience, both with processing DMA data and Windows experience alone. Storage 128 is bare minimum, once again. 256 gigs is honestly kind of non-negotiable, depends on how much you plan to do with this mini PC, but 128 can be very, very cumbersome, and it's just, you're not getting really much out of it. Absolutely though, this is something I cannot stress enough. Don't use a hard drive. You can get away with it, but honestly, it's just going to ruin the experience a little bit. Windows does not really play well with hard drives in comparison to SSDs, and the solid state drive factor of this day and age in tech, it's super cheap, and honestly, hard drives are just not worth it for saving a couple dollars. As long as you meet the requirements I just spoke about, you will be absolutely fine. So I want to do a quick recap. The GMK Tech M6 is a fantastic and powerful option, but if you're trying to save money, a refurbished Dell, HP, or Lenovo mini PC with at least 4 cores, 8 gigs of RAM, and an SSD will get the job done easily. I do hope that this helped you cut through the noise a little bit when it comes to what PC you need. If it did, drop a like down below and subscribe for more straight to the point DMA information. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys are running for your secondary computer. Again, you can also run laptops for this. It's just laptops tend to be a little bit more expensive than a cheap old refurbished computer or a purpose-built computer such as the GMK Tech M6. No matter what site you buy from or what hardware you get, or software for that matter as well, try to use code TABS on checkout to save yourself some money. And a lot of times I don't really get paid for you using the code. It just helps them know that my videos are doing their job and saves you some money as well. So either way, my name is Tabs, and if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to let me know with a comment and a like down below, and I'll see you on the next one.